Doc. Hi, Ray. Okay. Hi, Mr. Henry. Lovely. All right. So good. So we have some more time.
I need a
Cheers.
glass of water. What are you drinking? No, no.
Water, 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 water.
I send you a
Yes, you
drink.
were saying, Doc. You were saying.
That sometimes, when you see a problem and you start to approach it,
Yes.
sometimes it means that you got to dissolve it. Be prepared to either resolve or dissolve. Because if all it is going to go back to make it a status quo and leave it alone.
And what
Lot
you
of
say to
men,
people that said they're staying together for the children?
guess what? That's a bad decision.
And
When
it's
your
bad
life
why?
expectancy,
It's bad why, Doc?
the reason your children are going to have, they're going to be gone from you before too long. And you're staying together because of the children. The damage you will have done to them, because what they would have learned from the toxicity that they saw in their parents' relationship. If you're staying together, mean you're going to hold it together totally without the drama and the toxicity for them to get a normative fine. But outside of that, children live what they learn. And the amount of children who have resulted from, look, parents have been divorced, have been separated, but it didn't mean that they abdicate their parental responsibility, right? It didn't mean that. So staying together for the sake of the children, it doesn't mean tolerating the bad behavior. If we're going to stay together for the sake of the children, well, listen, we're going to
It
stay
must be a
together by.
joint decision. It must be a joint decision to do this in the best way possible with
Yes,
respect.
in
With
the same way,
respect. Mm-hmm.
that even though I think it's a valid assumption that we're in this marriage forever.
Right.
What it mean is I mean till death do us part. Not till me kill you. What till the relationship dead.
Right.
So that who tell you that the relationship will last forever? We don't know that. But when it dead, guess what? Bury it and leave the cemetery. You don't
Don't
keep
stay in the
dragging the
cemetery.
dead to the.
Don't stay in the cemetery.
No, but
Right.
guess what? Make sure it is dead before you bury it. They will charge you for murder, right? So that this thing about leaving and ending is not that simple. Or staying together for
Right.
the sake of the children. It means that if you're going to stay together, you're going to put off all those other things and so on and you're going to live your best life together and you're going to do things the right way. Because if what it means now, you're going to be fighting every day and so on and things, no, we're teaching it to them. That doesn't make no sense whatsoever.
Right. Exactly.
But
I listened to
this is
interview, same thing they were saying today. By that this relationship thing, I wanted to also, because a lot of people didn't know that they were not the main person until COVID happened. So how do you decipher, I don't want situationship and relationship? How do you recognize the difference? Because I was talking to my girlfriend this morning or yesterday, Andrew, I can't remember now. And we're saying, I was listening to Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey was saying, it's never too early to have the conversation about what it is that you want, especially us mature women. But usually the conversation is that next thing you got think say you're a rundown marriage or whatever. But is it I mean, when you meet someone, is there anything, has it been too early to say, well, you know, what are your intentions? What is it that you want from me? What, you know, where do you see this going? Or are we just, you know them have a way, we're just kicking it?
No, listen, I take a firm position in that dating without the intention to marry is like shopping with no money in your pocket. Either you're going to teach something or you're going to be disappointed. So this notion that some bad habits have kicked in.
Yes.
Huh? So that I also believe in playing the cards face up. Be honest about what is you want. Now, if what you want
it's never too early. It's the question that you ask, one, and how you ask it.
Absolutely. So what are you in for?
Sorry, I didn't hear it.
What are you in it for? Well, right. We just want to have a good time. So that if that's not what you would say, no. I'm a big woman now. All right? I'm a big woman. When I was 16 and 17 and so on, I didn't know I know what I want in life.
We see where it's going. We can see where it's going. Now that you're over 40.
No, you ask me what I want from life. You tell me what you. If we're not going the same place, I don't want you to waste my time.
Absolutely.
I don't want to waste my time. So I think there's this fear, this fear that people have that. So you first make it clear what you want from life. What you want. And be very clear earlier if the person, look, you know how bad this is?
Hold on, Doc. One person just said, hi, Mr. D. He says, honesty is great, but brutally honest can be awful. Men have egos that are fragile.
C'est la vie. That's life.
They need to grow up, right? As we were saying, Mr. Henry came in late. Mr. Henry, we were saying earlier, and I'm going to send you, there is a talk between, which I found very interesting. There's a talk between, actually it's a book which talks about the truth about men. And it's a talk between Devon Franklin and Dondre Whitfield that was extremely interesting because they were talking about being male versus being a man, or a grown male versus being a man. So would I be correct in saying that a man would be able to handle the conversation, but a grown male may not be able to handle the conversation, if I'm understanding the difference?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And the sooner you know that, but remember I said, a lot of women get themselves in trouble because they believe that they can change this grown male and make him into a man. You can't do that. Right. I saw interesting Steve Harvey some time ago that a woman can't change a man, but a man will change himself because he wants to be with that woman. Right.
And Dondre today was saying that he asked a man, well, this is from 2015. He said he was asking some men, what is leadership? Run him house, him make the rules around the house. And he's saying, that's not leadership. He's saying what he does, he leads by example, so much so that his children and his wife finds what he's doing so appealing and attractive that they will follow without even a request, which I found so sensible. It makes so much sense. So he says, his wife, will do certain things without him even asking because of his manner, how he treats her. He makes sure that, they have a conversation because he is a man, not a grown male. You know, and when I heard the distinction, it made so much. You must. It's posted on my page, my personal page, and it's supposed to be posted on Totally Male's page as well. It made so much sense, because what he was saying, although he grew up without a dad, he had a lot of mentors and a lot of males in his life. And he surrounded himself with men. So he learned from men. You can't learn from a grown male. And I was like, tweet of a moment, tweet. That was like a light bulb just like went off in my head. It made so much sense. Because he said the grown male don't have the tools. Because he's not a man. He says becoming a man is a process. He even spoke about Michael Jackson. You know, Michael Jackson missed his childhood, so he didn't transition into a man. So he spent the rest of his life, you know, doing childish things and stuff like that, you know. But the conversation was so enlightening and so refreshing and so true and so honest and so, as a lot of men will say, so difficult to emulate, because it's a decision. It's a decision.
Love is a decision, not just a feeling. Yeah. It's a wonderful explanation by Eric Fromm. If love was just a feeling, I could not tell you I'm going to love you forever. Because feelings come and go. It's a decision that I have made in terms of how I'm going to conduct my life. So dating, lost the sight of what dating is supposed. Dating is a process of getting to know each other. The most important component of dating is conversation.
Yes.
Deep, long, hard conversations. So we understand who each other. And remember, the first thing I said with this discussion is that your first conversation is with you. What do you want from life? What do you want from a partner? What do you bring to a relationship?
Hold on 1 minute, Doc. Question. What if we share the information with your partner and his response is, don't compare me with others? How do you deal with that?
We're not comparing you with others. I'm comparing you with my ideal. Here is what I am looking for.
How do you get him to understand that though, Doc? It's easier said than done.
No, but hold on. That's why I'm saying that too many people get themselves committed.
Yes.
They commit themselves before they even really get to know who they're committing themselves to.
Tweet.
Once you start sharing your body and sharing your money with somebody else, your
mind.
Well, that's what we get to your mind. Anybody who is consuming your resources and consuming you sexually, they have you. So before you get to that stage, you have to, there's a reason. So we're not comparing you, and so you start be clear. One, what do you bring to the table?
Absolutely.
Two, what do you want in a partner? And you're clear. Here's what I want. Here's what I bring. Tell about you. What do you bring to this? Well, boy, you want to know something? All right. Okay. Thank you. But too many times we don't ask the hard questions.
Because we're not equipped, Doc. We're not equipped. A lot of us grew up in single parent homes, and so we're not familiar with the exchange. And even those of us who grew up in homes where you have mother and father, them still not having a conversation, Doc. Them still not having a conversation. They don't have an example. You don't have where to start.
One of the biggest tragedy I see in this culture, my estimate is that 75% of our children, they begin with this phrase. A woman says to a man, I miss my period, you know. And the man says to the woman, so where tell me that from?
Ouch.
And then
And there was no planning. It was just we're having fun. We were in a
absolutely,
situationship, which we're
there
now
was
trying
no,
to change to a
yes,
relationship, which we're now trying to convert to marriage.
absolutely.
And all
So
and
that's
how
why,
it started was, oops, I missed my period.
yeah. So we never had that hard conversation up front. By the way, how you
Ouch.
feel about children? What you feel about? So, all right. The man has 6 children for 5 different women. Irrespective of what him tell you, you have to process that reality. So you going to be baby mother number,
Mm.
huh? What does he have to do to, how is he going to convince you that that previous behavior, remember I said by age 35 we're governed by habits.
Mm-hmm.
We're governed by habits. That
Mm-hmm.
habit that you saw existed, huh? How are you going to process that? And you didn't know that you went with
But
baby
but
mother
doc,
number
but
9.
doc, can I ask you something? All right. So, but just by all right, for in your experience, a man having 5 children with 5 different women, is that buck up or that is his persona? So
It's
that
hard.
alone tells you a
Yes.
story. So where do you go
And
from there? Do you not touch him, or do, because people can say men can change.
no, that's the
Men can
assumption that
change.
we make. That's the assumption that we make. But you have, he has to present a solid argument that this behavior is going to be different. What
And
has he
his
learned from
behavior
home?
is behind him.
Yeah, it has to be very, very clear.
And
But too
not
many
just
times
tell you, he has to show you.
it has to show you. So that you have to see the reality of that change
Right.
before you commit yourself. Or not, you're going to become baby mother number 6. Right?
Mm.
So there are times when, look, yes, he can change, but you must see the change. You must see the change before you make the commitment. So we have to have hard conversations early in the relationship. It's the base on which we build the relationship. And again, remember, there's 2 conversations I want to say.
Situationship versus relationship. What is the difference?
Situationship is largely transactional. It's a transaction.
Meaning?
It doesn't, meaning it doesn't have to be a balanced transaction, meaning that you get something, he gets something. And that
So
can go
I
on
need
indefinitely.
money. I need money.
Ah,
He need companionship. Not
exactly.
companionship, sex.
I thought you were just being to be, yes, he needs sex and you need money.
Right. Right. So that's
And
a
so far,
situationship.
in a
What is a
situationship,
relationship?
a relationship is an interplay on all levels where both people are committed to each other and their dreams. In a
Are our
situationship,
are our men and women equipped for that, Doc? In this day and age?
there some are, but a lot of just continue to say, listen, we're just going to continue with the situationship. But every now and then, you see what happened? People start off even on both sides saying that they can deal with the situationship, but then somebody changed their mind
Or
or the
somebody get
emotion.
or somebody get involved at a
Somebody
deeper level.
exactly, and
Mm-hmm.
then now asymmetrical, so that it's both sides at the same. But none that we agree to, none that we agree to. And oftentimes when these things start out in the situational thing, and persons believe that they can, and then when it changes, now there's either disappointment or you decide to just adjust to it and to institutionalize the situationship. But a relationship is a process by which 2 people are committed to each other and their dreams and aspirations, their mutual dreams. And so I'm going to help you become your best you. You're going to help me become my best me. We're committed to each other.
Wow. That's a rarity though, you know, Doc.
But it's worth fighting for. It's worth living for, because you have all these people now. So you share a house, you share some buildings, you share each other's body, but you don't really share each other's mind. You're not going the same direction.
Or life.
You don't share it.
You have a lot of relationships that person and that other person, the only time they come together maybe is, and some of them, if they probably go to the same church, they might go church one Sunday morning together, or they get invited to a wedding. But outside of that, they have their own life. The wife have their own life, or the living partner or whatever, and you just kind of coexist. So how can you? Okay, so now we're in COVID. Everybody is shut down.
I thought you're going to be naughty. I thought you're going to be naughty and said, only time they come together is when they come together.
Well, that too. And sometimes it's just a kind of rollover thing. It's not really even a communication or a coming together of spirit and love and enjoyment. It's just okay, we do it. Okay, we never do it last week, so let us do it this week kind of thing. Oh, we have hold on, there's a lot. Okay, so it says, so please explain why the burden of proof is only on the man. We never said that you came in late. We're saying it's equal. Please remember that there are also quite a few women with multiple baby fathers who look at man. Oh, you're talking about, yes, we only did mention man with 5 children to be the next baby father. True. And I would say the answer would be the same, because that would be saying something about her mental state.
No, she has to give an explanation. How does she rationalize it? And how does she say now? Because look, if she's going to just blame the man or the man them for that behavior, no, it's not just so. She was part of that process. I saw there was one on TV recently. She had 8 children, and she living by herself. And
yes, I saw it.
I mean, I said, how you get from? And she sounded fairly articulate. She wondered, yes. Because these conversations.
But is it that maybe they just don't know? They don't want to be alone. Financially is a challenge. They come with, and sometimes men come with the lies and tell you one story, and really and truly as women, we don't really investigate plenty time until you see a little movement and you say, wait a minute, hold on there. That don't look so, that don't look so straight. And that's when you start looking. How many of us really investigate and check out before we actually get involved? Really? If we're honest to ourselves. Or we just work with our feelings. We like him.
Absolutely.
You know, so we work with it. And then now is when the lies start showing up. That's when we start doing the investigation.
Listen, if all you're doing is dating, you know, you're going out, you're enjoying each other's company, you are fine. But when you decide to...
But why is that fine? But that is fine in the 20s, Doc. Not in your 40s and your 50s. That's not wasting time, Doc.
Absolutely. But I'm saying that if that's what you're committed to, you know, we're going out, we're having fun, let both sides know that's what we're doing.
To what end? To what end?
No.
Are we interested in a relationship? Are we interested? Are we looking for somebody? Are we looking to see if we're even compatible? No, so that's what we're saying earlier when we're saying, when do we have the conversation as to what this is? Are we just wasting time?
The conversation is had right up front as part of that getting to know you.
You hear that, ladies? Right up front. So Doc, if he says, why you asking that for already? We just meet. Well, run?
It wouldn't be a bad idea. It wouldn't be a bad idea, because listen, the MO of a lot of men is literally they will say what they think you want to hear. They will create a false narrative, and when you get emotionally entangled, it is almost too late to back away.
Yes, because, you know, Doc, I must confess, it's not until I had counseling that I realized, because what I used to do is when I meet somebody, I just say up front what I'm looking for. And when I listened to when I went to counseling and I later heard Steve Harvey with it. What they're saying is that when you tell somebody what you want, they become it because they want to be with you.
Yes.
For whatever reason. Not necessarily to stay, but to extend the illusion of who they are. And then when they can't keep it up anymore, the true them come out. What you're supposed to do as women is to give a broad idea of what I like. And then you sit now and watch to see what he brings to the table. I don't know how many people are doing that like what I used to do. But I never, I really didn't know I didn't really know the difference, to be honest. And that was so true. That was so true, because some men, I mean, they will go to an extent to sleep with you, but they don't have any plans on staying. You know what I mean?
You know this old saying, if you can get milk, why should you buy the cow? So
what do you think? What do you think about the 90-day rule, Doc? Waiting 90 days to have sex.
It is to the point there must be some, it depends on how you define sex, If you define sex, of all sexes, it's just a bodily function.
Yes. But it isn't, is it? It's a swapping of spirit, don't it?
If you define it as
spiritual experience,
you don't need 90 days. If you define it as an important process by which people communicate,
yes,
exchange the essence of their being. Then
but I find that if it happens too early, it muddies the water. It gives you like you're looking through rose-tinted glasses, because now your emotions get involved and you're not really thinking sensibly because your vision is impaired. If you start too early.
Sandra, we had gone past the time, so I have 5 minutes. I have some proposal for tomorrow.
Yes.
Listen, here. You've heard them talk about the difference between you have a ham and cheese sandwich,
yes,
ham and eggs, and the difference between what the pig brings to that versus what the chicken brought to it.
Yes.
When you talk commitment is on the part of the pig.
Yes.
The pig gave it for that ham and eggs.
Yes.
The chicken contributed an egg, so they can always contribute others, and they go on living. Oftentimes, more often than not, once the woman has given of herself, what tends to happen now, she has to rationalize the rest of things and bend the reality to fit a sense of commitment and permanence, because she don't commit.
Yes.
Body has committed. Now define sex as just not a bodily function, that it doesn't matter who, when, where, and why. But if for you, it is still something that is of a very personal and spiritual nature.
Right.
That combines two people. Then that's part of, even again, back to that, getting to know you. This is how I see. Because from day one, if a man can get on there from day one, and he will say, thank you, ma'am. But the chances are he will have less reasons to believe, because even though he enjoyed it, he's just at the back of his mind, he said, why? Then I such easy. Then I saw everybody else can come and so
that's true.
And my wife that me would take to, because she'll give out. She'll give away. And anywhere it'll give away. Man will go there and line up and get. But in terms of, but that's not the woman he wants to commit his life to and marry. So these conversations, and you have to know these things about. And a lot of men tell lie. Wonder why all this time you with him, boy, you know, like, you know, where him live because the place not comfortable. You always come into your house and you can't go to his house and so on. Sometimes there's more to it than that.
Of course, most times there's more to it.
Yeah. So that, and if some, you know, don't look, it's too good to be true. Chances are it's too good to be true. And the point you keep making this point, the older you as a woman get, yeah, the less time you have to waste.
Right.
So that's why it's important.
Yes. Well, so as we wrap up, Doc, just give us like 5 pointers, as you said earlier, to start this conversation, you know, to really get to a place of understanding. Just give us 5 pointers, and then please tell them where they can find you if they want to have that personal one-on-one appointment with you. So because some people are out there suffering silently. I mean, you know, sometimes the only time that we get they have the conversation is when they come on TV. And men in particular also, they suffer silently. I can tell you that, because I mean, I talk to them all the while. So give us like 5 pointers to bring up the conversation of during this down period, to improve, to have the conversation to improve your relationship, be it marriage,
whatever
relationship, whatever it is.
Look, the first, look, COVID has given us a lockdown time.
Right.
The world is being reset. So why not let us reset? Let us rethink. Let us recommit.
And be open.
Yeah, and we're open to what are we going to leave behind? What are we going to move forward with? We're trying to build a stronger and better. That's the objective, you know, stronger and better. As you approach this conversation with the notion that one, is better for you to be kind than to be right.
Right.
Because you can be dead right, but be kind. You cannot solve a problem at the same level it was created. So for example, it's an emotional problem. There's an inverse relationship between emotions and solutions. That the more emotions are elevated, is the lower the solutions are. So you have to approach it. If the emotions start to flare, can you slow it down? Can you pause it? Listen, let's come back to this tomorrow.
Right.
Let's come back to this tomorrow.
So we have to be mature about it.
Exactly. Be clear. Have your first conversation with yourself. What is it you really want? How did you get to how did you contribute to where you are now? You're not happy. Because if you were happy now, you would need a reset.
Right.
First of all, admit to how you contributed to this. And oftentimes, you know, you allowed it to happen by default. You saw the problems and you said nothing. Huh? So
you have to own that. You have to own that.
Own it.
Yes.
And then now let's start, and you're not trying to fix everything in one conversation. It's going to be a series of conversations. And it's going to be some.
And would it help, Doctor, to praise what you like about the person first before you're having the conversation? Is that always good?
Always start with the positive.
Yes.
Listen, if there wasn't any positive, we would not be here now. So we want to balance it. We want to build on the positive, because there's always room for improvement. Because what we're trying to do, you start out with that notion, and let us start, and even start by your own admission. I admit that I fall short of this, and this. You start by your own public confession, your own self-disclosure. I know I can be better at this. I know I can be better at that. And here is some of the areas that I am looking into. Yeah? And I'm asking you.
Yeah, that kind of will help to this time, yes.
Yeah, before you even get to his fault, you know. Admit yours.
Right.
I'm willing to.
I like that approach.
I'm going to work on mine and so on. And I'm committing to you that we want to, in the same way we're trying to find a vaccine, yeah, to save us all. we want to find our own vaccine to save our relationship. And then, all right, what's your side?
Yes.
This is what my side bring into this thing. And so let's talk about it. Let's do it like brick by brick and rebuild this thing. You commit yourself, admit to where you have fallen short, and listen, we want to save this. It's all, and look, I really believe that till death do us part. If it's dead, bury it and leave the cemetery. But
right.
Make sure it is.
So it's also a time that you can have now to have that conversation. If it's dead, let's move on. Because there's also that.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because that is also a real conversation.
Right.
A young man, a gentleman that came to me, when I confronted him with that part, you can see he had some doubts in his mind that was really dead.
Right.
The result is that the whole thing was rekindled and was remixed and repackaged and so on, because what he was moving on and what he was talking about, it was in the wrong direction.
Right.
Because I've seen too many men, old men, who have a life of regret when they looked at, here was it, I could have done a little better to try and resolve that notion. But as long as there's life, there's hope.
So thank you, Doc. So where can we find you?
Well, social media, because by the way,
name of your company is?
For the last 2 months, we have been total virtual. I've been doing workshops all over the world, straight from, as you see right here, because above or beyond, and that's what we're about. We either take you above where you are or beyond your wildest imagination.
Lovely. So above and beyond.
Above or beyond, or Dr Semaj, and you can find me Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, telephone directory, YouTube, you name it. And
awesome.
We make transformations possible.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank Dr. Semaj. I want to thank everybody for joining. Same time next week, we're going to have another conversation. You can always inbox us on our at Totally Male Spa on our Instagram page, and let us know what you want us to discuss. What is what you know, what you have as a burning issue. You know, what you need to have a discussion about, because we're really here about solutions. We're here to have a discussion and just kind of just ease the pressure a little bit. You know, we want to wish everybody safety at this time. You know, go easy during COVID. And I just want to thank you again for joining us live. See you next week. I am Sandra Samuels from Totally Male Limited, the best all-male grooming spa in Jamaica.
I agree with that.
So, you know, we take care of you there. So, thanks, Doc. Cheers. All right. Thanks again. Always a pleasure. I learn so much whenever I speak to you. Thank you. All right. Bye. Bye. Bye, everyone.